So let's talk about this random number generator that we can use from our calculator. Technically, the random number generator that our calculator provides, in any computer program for that matter, is really a pseudo random number generator. And the reason why has to do back with the programming of creating this list of random numbers. But you can kind of think of it like this. The calculator already has this massive list of digits arranged in a list, very similar to your random number table that you see from your text, or maybe you've seen online in other resources, and it's just a page, well, pages of random numbers written on a piece of paper. And so your calculator already has this, but your calculator also, when reset, will automatically start looking through that list at 0. So in other words, it's seeded or starts at 0. The cool thing is that you can pick where in the list your calculator starts generating these random numbers, and that's called seeding your random number. And so this information on the left side of the screen is from the guidebook for our graphing calculator, and it's all about what's in the math probability menu. And there's something here in particular I've highlighted. Again, it's about the seeding piece of the random number generator, and it says that the factory set seed value for rand, and actually for rand integer, rand normal, rand all the different rand functions, the seed is set at 0. So to generate a different random number sequence, store any non-zero seed value to rand. To restore the factory set seed value, store 0 to rand or just reset your calculator. So let's all try this together. Have your calculator handy, and let's begin by resetting our calculator, like so. Then we're going to go to Math, and I'm going to scroll over to the Probability menu. And I'm actually going to select rand int, or short for random integer. And if I scroll down through my chart here, it gives me a little bit more information about this particular function in the calculator, how it generates and displays a random integer within a range specified by lower and upper integer bounds. So that's how this one's different than, say, selecting number 1. Number 1 is actually a decimal number somewhere between 0 and 1. So instead, I'd like to see cleaner integer numbers, I guess you can say. So I'm going to select that, and it should come up in this wizard type setting. If it does not, then you may go directly to this screen where it has just the parentheses sitting here waiting. And let's try the one that we see here. We'll try a lower bound of 1, an upper bound of 6, and an n of 4. Now what that means is I have the random numbers 1 through 6 in a list, or maybe I should just say I have the numbers 1 through 6 in a list, and I'm going to randomly select 4 of them. So let's press enter to paste it and press enter to run it. You should have the exact same thing that you see on my screen, 6, 6, 1, 4. And if you're thinking, what? I thought this was supposed to be random. That's again because this is a pseudo-random number generator. We're all starting with the same seed. So something that I suggest students do if you really want something a little more random for your problems or your experiments is pick a number and then store that as the random number. Well, I'll show you that process in a second. But this number that you pick, you can get creative with it. Something that's kind of easy and that is fairly random is the last 4 digits of your phone number. You could select that. You could select here that your seed is going to be how many days you've been alive, okay? Or maybe your birthday written without any dashes or commas or anything like that. I'm going to go with just last 4 digits of my phone number. Okay, so if I do last 4 digits, and you could try this with me. You could try the same seed that I'm getting ready to do. And then I'm going to press the store. It's abbreviated STOW, but it looks like an arrow here. And then I'm going to go back to Math, Probability, and I'm going to select this first one, Rand, and press Enter. And so what I've just done now is I've stored this 3283 as my seed. So when I rerun, and actually what I'm going to do to rerun it is just come up here and press Enter. So when I rerun this same function of the random integers 1 through in a list 1 through 6, randomly selecting 4 of those numbers in the list, this is what I get. Again, if you had the same seed as me, then you'll have the same list that I have. Now try it with your last 4 digits of your phone number and compare. So maybe pause the video right here and try storing your seed here as the last 4 digits of your phone number. Let's try that same function again. And now press Enter. Now we should be looking at something different because you've selected a seed that starts somewhere else where I just kept going. So I have not replaced the seed. It's still where it is, and notice that I have a different list than what you have.